Welcome to the Saturday edition of The Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined by Mark Olmos. Mark, firstly, great to be back with you. Looking forward to the racing this weekend.
Great to have you back, Adam. Yes, we've missed you and it's been some good racing while you've been gone. We've seen a few rising stars, but this weekend another two-year-old race where I'm sure we'll see some very nice types heading towards the likes of Karrakatta Plate, but plenty to go through, and of course the Scenic Blast Stakes as well.
Yeah, looking forward to going through this card. Let's take a look at the conditions that we are going to be faced with now. The Mooble Rail is at an inside position. The hot conditions do continue here in Perth, so that'll be interesting to see if it does play a part, especially in that two-year-old race early on. And Mark, that's where we're going to start, a race over the 1100 metres.
Yeah, it looks to be a really intriguing affair. Half of the field has had race experience, the other half just coming into this off some reasonable trial form as well. But our replay horse is a very impressive first start winner. Won the first two-year-old race of the season in Akinar Star.
The favourite who's quickly claimed it, Little Hercules. They beat off Akinar Star, Demons and Dust, Turbo Power, then Lucy May at the 200 metre mark, and Little Hercules now kicked a length and a half in front. Akinar Star still sticking on pretty well though. He keeps on coming, Akinar Star. He comes up on the outside of Little Hercules, reaches the lead, strong performance. Very good win here.
Really nice type is Akinar Star. So impressive for a two-year-old to do it that hard on debut and still be able to win. Now, the recent trials have been good. This horse is well bred. We know that Simon Miller gets them running earlier. Barrier 4, everything just ticks the boxes here. I think it's going to be very hard to beat.
I dare say goes straight to the front, but there does look to be an awful lot of other speed in the race, Adam. Particularly Colourful Charade. I really liked its debut performance when third behind Keeper Keen. Set the pace on that occasion, went to the front, but its recent trials suggest that it's come on even more.
This is a horse that Wally Mitchell will be hoping just cashes in very early. It was a big purchase last year at the Magic Million sale when they're able to pick this galloper up. There's a lot of people that were interested. We know it was going to be an early runner. It's bred nice. It's trialled well. As you mentioned, the biggest thing seems to be that it's matured in the mind, which is exactly what it needs. I think it's certainly one of the biggest chances with the previous horse that we mentioned.
Of the unraced brigade, we've got Double A Show here. Some interesting owners in this one. Barrier 1 though, a colt by Smart Missile. There aren't too many of them going around. He's done plenty wrong at his recent trials, missing the start and being a bit tardy away, but just keeps blitzing them and running good time as well from the back. I think he's one to watch here.
Just been very coltish, hasn't it? Simple as that. But you highlight the breeding, as you mentioned. Smart Missile colt looks very nice indeed. 2 from 2 in the recent trials. Daniel Stake running again for Fred Kersey, so looking forward to seeing how it goes. But I'm going to go with number 1, Akinar Star. I think it's the horse to beat. From number 2, Colourful Charade, number 6, Melrose Beach, and at number 4, Debalatio.
I'm going with the first start, number 4, Double A Show on top. From number 1, Akinar Star, 2, Colourful Charade, and number 7, Yendor.
Race number 2 at Ascot. It is over the 1,000 metres, an event for the 3-year-olds. And Mark, I think there's probably 4 or 5 in this that you just find very hard to separate. A
very, very even race, Adam. We'll go straight into the replay of number 1, Dainty Tess, winning on the 14th of January.
Chin strap, Miss Lawrence and Storm Dancer. He lets Dainty Tess down at the 250 though from Atacama Sky. Caracapo struggling, can't win it all. It's still Dainty Tess when they near the 100. Over on the outside is Belter though, trying to run it down. Dainty Tess responding for Pike. He's got the whip out, driving at it right on the line.
Hard fought win on this occasion by Dainty Tess, but she did exactly what we're used to doing. Showed plenty of heart, plenty of courage, and took the best to lift her over the line. This is an intriguing race here though. There's, as we've said, some talented types. G-Boss has been very good. Undisclosed, Slick Sam, even Speeding Comet in this race. The 3 kilo claim, I think, is certainly going to help Sarah Bonner taking the ride. Small field, very good as well, and Barrier 6 should get a really nice run. We know she's just always hard to beat.
1,100 metres back to 1,000 metres, the big one for me, but I tell you what, I did like William Pike on, even carrying the extra weight. 59.5 down to 56.5 here. Interesting to see how it goes. G-Boss I thought was an excellent performance last start at Pinjarra on the 7th of January. Came down the outside fence. Now usually you, when you think of Pinjarra up the straight, you want to be on the outside fence. Wasn't the place to be that day. He was there, and Aaron Mitchell had a really nice time of it there. Look, on time was a very good performance, but one that beats it on time is number 6, Undisclosed, up the straight. It was very fast. Won by 5.5 lengths on that occasion, and Troy Turner sticks on. It looks to be a very, very smart filly.
Both very hard to beat. G-Boss, as you mentioned, that run was really good. I go back to the debut performance where Michael Lane just said the horse was fat and it blitzed a really good field, so it's one that we've certainly had to keep an eye on. Taylor Stone taking the ride means it gets a 3 kilo claim now as well. Undisclosed is one for mine as well. It won debut very nicely. Well, it was just a win really, but the horse was shin sore the whole way down the straight, Jordan Turner said. He said you could feel it underneath. So it was one to keep an eye on. I was really impressed with that first up performance as well. I think it's between those three. I've gone with number 1, Dainty Test, from number 2, G-Boss, number 6, Undisclosed, and number 4, Slick Sam.
I'm going the 6 on top, Undisclosed, from the 3, Speeding Comet, 1, Dainty Test, and 2, G-Boss.
Race number 3 at Ascot. It is a maiden over the 1400 metres and an absolute raffle here, Mark.
Very wide open race, Adam, but we'll have a look at Warbo and Grado, running third last start behind Keeper's Tail.
And Desidor headed the remainder. She bangs the drum, raced up to Reigns and Monty as Parnham goes to work on Keeper's Tail. And when they go to the 150, Keeper's Tail on the outside, but she bangs the drum with the shadow roll, digs in and fights hard, but Keeper's Tail now gains the upper hand, and Keeper's Tail beat home. She bangs the drum. Warbo.
Nice performance there by Warbo and Grado first up. It was an honest run and certainly seems as though, again, it's another horse that has matured. I think what we learnt from the last campaign, though, is that this horse is going to get better with distance as well. So I'm expecting another good performance. I think it can definitely run in the numbers here, but from barrier 13, going to be forced probably to have to go back. I think you just want to see this horse run another good race again when they step up to 1800 metres. I think this horse is going to win this campaign.
Time and distance, of course, by a Perth Cup winner in Black Tom. We've also got in the race number 12, Middle Earth. Now, gelding by Blackfriars. If you go back and have a look at the replay of his run last start, which was only a week ago, look, this gelding by Blackfriars was doing its best work late and then got held up behind the tiring Blue Houdini and the likes. It was a very good effort by the Vaughan Sigley trained galloper.
Yeah, I think the backup's going to be good as well. I think what you said there was just on the money, was attacking the line strongly, got a bit of interference, will take plenty of improvement from that run as well. Barrier 8, I don't think much of an issue, and Takard Ikanushi with the ride.
Blue Houdini, the one we just mentioned there, was a favourite last week. On the quick back up here in barrier 16, not ideal, but if it's half as good as it showed that first up run behind Dash Dot Dash, should be winning this.
Don't get me wrong, deserved to be favourite last up, but the price was ridiculous and it all came down to William Pike again. It should never have jumped at the price that it did. It was still a reasonable performance on that occasion, was able to finish 4th. Now barrier 16 is a big question mark here. Does get the 1.5 kilo claim off the back, but I think it's it's going to all come down to those early stages if you can get a position. I'm going to put it on top because I think this is a weakish field. Number 4, Blue Houdini, from number 3, Warbo and Grado, number 9, Cayman Bound, and number 1, Our Maori Boy.
I've got the 12 on top, Middle Earth, from the 9, Cayman Bound, 3, Warbo and Grado, and 5, Blue Tracer.
Race number 4 at Ascot. It is a 72 plus event over the 1600 metres, the Australia Day Cup, and Mark, most of these went head to head last start where we saw Pinzu proving too strong.
Yeah, speeding out the stablemate Sasso Circus. Let's have a look at that replay.
It was Sasso Circus, and then came Pinzu down the outside from Our Finest Moment behind them. At the 200, Pinzu sprinted up very quickly, hit the lead from down on the inside, Sasso Circus, and then Grand Lorado and a Basso, but Pinzu shot away, and Pinzu draws clear. Pinzu beat Sasso Circus.
Nice performance there by Pinzu, let down strongly and was just able to hold off Sasso Circus, which was doing its best work late. Now, Sasso Circus does get a 1.5 kilo swing here, which just held up a little bit at the top of the straight last start. I think it is still a race between these two, and I do believe that Sasso Circus can turn the tables.
I'm not sure that was too much of an effect, though, because we know Sasso's got a quite short burst there and only about a couple of 100 metres. So, look, the more he gets held up, the better, some would say, but the weight advantage is certainly something to take into consideration here. Number 6, Grand Lorado, from the inside draw again, I think can run a nice race, comes out of that same race as well.
It's a galloper that I know we both liked and we've had a little bit of time for. I thought too, when taking a look at this race, it was certainly one to have there in contention. What I will say though was it was given an absolute gun run by Brad Parnham last start. It was 1 out, 1 back. Brad went a little bit, just before they cornered, gave the horse every opportunity, and Pinzu was able to run past. Sasso Circus was able to get up on the inside, and even a Basso made plenty of ground late as well. So Grand Lorado would still need to take a little bit of improvement.
And your selections, Adam?
I'm going to go with number 8, Sasso Circus, from number 2, Pinzu. I think it's a really good Quinella. Number 11, Push to Pass, and number 3, Abasso.
I've got the exact same exactor, Adam. Number 2, Pinzu, from the 8, Sasso Circus, 6, Grand Lorado, and 10, McCabe's Keeper.